screen to the fans, but also a 40 by 20 screen coming back into the area there where people will be with tables and chairs. The yellow building here you see, that is actually the second part of the inspection process called tech inspection. They do the weight of the car, the compression of the engine. The garages here, we're going to see a little bit of that as they go through those garages in that bay. There's windows on the other side. You can actually look in, watch the drivers work on their car, all part of the fan zone experience. They got a little pass-through, so you can actually put a handle program in. You can autograph by all the different drivers. Go up on the roof, look around, see the haulers, see the cars on the track here. Another TV screen as well as a sport pylon. You see, goes out to the fans. To my left over here, where the opening in the seating is, that is old Gate 7 in the old days. That's how the haulers came in. Underneath the gate here and worked their way to those garages to my right here. We're going to go kind of outside way to get some of these workers areas here. But these yellow garages are the overflow garages in Monster Energy Series when they're here for the Daytona 500. And here they need them. They also do various things during the course of the year. Different vehicles are in there from different events. Of course, now everybody's storing a lot of stuff for the upcoming concert. At the end here, you got the Sunoco fueling station where they fuel the tanks. They put the gas in there in the portable tanks that go to the garage at Pit Road. 98 octane with 15% ethanol, 12.60 a gallon. The four doors to my right, two of them open there. That is the Goodyear Tire Rubber Company where they mount the tire. This is the Pit Road. And we're going to make our way down here. You can see this area to my right. Typically, used for storage or different things. And they also have different things during the year when they have Carreras here not too long ago. They had a centro médico by the drive. To my right over there, you see the healthcare building.
Dale los primeros auxilios. Chocan los carros.
A statewide hospital ran by trauma doctors and nurses for race day. For all kind of individuals, but they go in there if they have a wreck. The fans, and I understand drivers, but if they have a wreck and they drive in and they get either towed to the garage or drive in, it's an automatic checkup. Typically they'll be released. We can't treat them here. They go out in the tunnels here to my left. And if you see where we make the turn behind the restrooms there's a red roof building with two towers over there. Halifax Healthcare Center. That is a level 2 trauma center only about a mile away. But rarely would we go there because we do have a state guard facility here. I go right here behind the back of course, the hospital there to my right, and also to the right over there, you see the drivers and owners line, where they'll have their photos here, drivers and owners for around 8 days during the Daytona 500. You see where they have the pads there with water, cable, electricity. That white building in the corner back there is the State Guard Fitness Center. You see the playground area. A lot of those guys have smaller kids, so we got that available, and then they can walk across the road right to those garages we saw a little bit earlier there to my right. And of course, where you see the flags here at the corner, that is the east end of the road course as they're setting up one of the stages there. They'll come down here and make this big U-turn, head down the track to the other way to the west horseshoe. We'll drive by in just a moment. And the building here in front of me, building 237, the Boardwalk Club, this is an amenities package for some of the upscale camping that take place here. That is what's located behind it because race day, probably 80-85% of this infield is some form of camping. Or it's the vast majority, that's going to be federal camping. Our numbers of it you'll hear. The concrete walkway here is available for fans on race day, typically uninterrupted. You can walk from here down to that fan zone both from here and from the other end of the track. Over to my left, and also over here to my right on the area here where this tent is, they will have vendors with different kinds of merchandise, food trucks, different things. Motorhome camping, over that merchandise. On the left over there, you see Lake Morgan. Lake Morgan is a
invitamos que vengan aquí. Cuando hay una carrera.
But he had to have the service.
Guarden un dinerito para cuando hay una carrera.
Banking as well as the foundation. They did that by pulling about 80 cubic yards of dirt down the area over there. They had a pretty good hole.